The Effects of Robots and Robotics in the Workplace by Erica Jackson, Keandra Thomas, Ravi Wayne, and Valentin Garcia. The project summary: researchers are going to go through various resources to answer the following two questions. First one, does a workplace that is instilling and applying robotics in the professional environment pose a threat to human workers and the jobs they do? And secondly, what are the effects of having robotics in the workplace pose? The goal of this research is to advise and warn employees, along with other people throughout the world, why robots are being programmed to take their jobs. The main advantage of having robots in the workplace is their cost. With the minimum wage increasing throughout many businesses in the world, it is causing a major decrease in the cost of robots. This is giving business owners an advantage to take a chance on robots and remove humans to cut costs and make an even bigger profit. Another advantage would be energy used. For example, humans tire. They need food, they need water, they need breaks. Robots don't need none of that. The significance of this research is to show and tell that robots are built based upon the need at the time for them. This is the reason why robots come in all shapes and sizes, because they are built based on the need for them at the time. For example, robots can work anywhere in any environmental condition. Whether it's in space, underwater, in extreme heat or wind, they can be used anywhere human safety is a huge concern. And while the significance of this research is to inform employees, it is also to inform business owners of the cons that come along with bringing robots in the workplace as a replacement for humans.
Hey everyone, I'm Keandra, and I'll be talking about robots, automation, and how robots play a major role in education and healthcare. So let's begin. Robots and automation. What is automation? What are robots? What is robotics? Are they the same? What makes them different? Automation and robots are two words that are used interchangeably all the time. It's easy to get confused with the words. Um, Automation means using computer software, machines, or other technology to carry out a task which would otherwise be done by a human worker. Robots are mobile machines that can assist humans in work related activities. Robotics is a branch of engineering which incorporates multiple disciplines to design, build, program, and use robotic machines. Robotics therefore include anything that includes robots. Um, Robots are used to automate some physical tasks. However, many types of automation have nothing to do with physical robots. Many branches of robotics have nothing to do with automation. And to answer the question, are they the same? No, they are not the same. Like I stated before, automation and robotics or robots are words that are used interchangeably all the time. Um, The main difference between robots, and automation is that the robots are a piece of equipment that can perform a variety of tasks, while automation is a term that means using computer software to carry out a specific task. Robots in education. The benefits of having robots in education are academic professionals can effectively execute a lecture using technology, meaning that being well versed in technological devices can build the credibility with students, since most of them, you know, are really all into technology. It motivates them to want to learn. Learning becomes more fun. There is this app called Kahoot. It creates an environment that's like a game, and the students compete amongst one another to see who gets the most points at the end. Um, a lot of teachers are engaging in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. And this, blends all of these subjects together and engages the student. Um, that makes learning much more interesting and keeps the students engaged. Tedious teaching tasks can be automated. This just means there are already existing tools that can automate grading and track the performance of students. These tools can help streamline grading for assignments, participation, and discussions. This will help the teachers, not to be so stressed and worry about doing everything by hand. Instant access to information. Easy access to information can highly supplement the students' learning experience. Learning becomes more collaborative and research becomes easier by the use of the internet. Students become more prepared for the future. Technology allows the students to learn how to write emails, maintain good online etiquette, create presentations, and learn to recognize reliable sources when it comes to those research projects. And these are all essential skills that students can learn and will need even way after they graduate. Understanding technology is very important in many areas of their lives. Cons are technology can be a distraction, which we all know that. Um, because these kids and even myself and I know you guys are a part of a lot of social networking apps. So it would be very difficult for the teacher to closely monitor the students to see if they're only accessing the educational apps or browsing their social media accounts. Another one is the disconnect of social skills. Becoming so engaged with technology causes students to become isolated and causes them to be by themselves, not really socializing and communicating amongst their peers. Makes cheating easier. That's really self-explanatory. You can use the internet to Google anything, any question, and you can get the answer. And last but not least, robots are expensive. Integrating robots into the educational field can become very expensive because you're not only needing um, robotics, you're needing the software to keep the robotics up to par. Robots in healthcare. How do robots help in the medical field? One example would be how robotics allow nurses to monitor several patients at once by monitoring patient vital statistics and alerting the nurses when there is a need for them in the room. Another example would be x-rays. X-rays allow the doctors to see what's going on in the inside of our bodies, and it's harmless. It's just something as simple as a snap of a picture. Robots in medicine help by relieving medical personnel from routine tasks, which can become very tedious. Um, it takes their time away from more pressing responsibilities and where they're actually needed. And it makes medical procedures safer and less costly for patients. Um, and that's pretty much what robots mainly do in the medical field.
So, we're going to talk about why use robotics in manufacturing. So, robotics came about within manufacturing because business owners and entrepreneurs decided to look at it from cutting costs and increasing productivity. So, with the use of a robot within the workplace, for example, such as Walmart, we have assemblers. However, some of the things that assemblers do is very, very dangerous. And sometimes we have employees who complain about how dangerous it is or how they don't get paid enough to complete the task at hand. So robots come into play because they're the robots are considered the substitute for the human beings when certain tasks are just too hard for them to handle or you have other complaints. Most robots are designed to be a helping hand. That's the purpose of having them within the workplace. They help with tasks that would be considered dangerous, dirty, dangerous, or just plain out boring to a human being. Um, with robots, you don't have to worry about hearing the complaints of not having a break or my feet is hurting. It's just a lot that really takes that pulls. It's a lot of good things that pull from the company. However, it's a lot of bad that pull from the company as well. It have its pros and cons. With dealing with robotics within manufacturing, you have an increase in productivity. You can cut costs because they're actually taking over certain jobs and duties that employees get paid for. However, the bad to it that it pulls from the job is that it is basically allowing some humans to lose their job to robots. No one ever thought technology would be this advanced and cause jobs to be replaced by robotics. So there you have it about robotics in manufacturing.
A survey that consisted of 10 questions was sent out to our classmates at Middle Georgia State University and some of the staff members in order to measure how the public will respond to robots taking their jobs and making important decisions that could possibly affect their life. In addition to that, it will allow us to determine if robots and workers can coexist in the same environment. The first two questions are based on gender and age group in order to analyze the result by age group later on. The remaining 8 questions were like scale statements questions. For example, the survey provided options where the participant could choose from strongly disagree, strongly agree, somewhat agree, and no opinion. The question, how would you rate the quality of work done by robots at your company compared to human workers who do the same type of job? The result of question 6 is showing that the majority, which is 48% of organizations, have not implemented robot in their environment, but almost 16% of people think that robots have acquired higher quality work than human worker, while 5% think the opposite. In addition to that, 21% of the participants believe that there is no difference between the quality of work done by robot and by human. To respond to question 8, what skill will people need to succeed professionally in the workplace of the future? It is by far the ability to adapt to change, the skill the most needed in order to succeed professionally in the workplace, with higher percentage of 24%. Critical thinking and problem solving skill is the next skill needed, with 22% of the ability to communicate and collaborate come fourth in place, with a percentage of 21 finally. 19% of the participant thinks that worker will need to be able to think creatively. What are the main benefits of having robot in the workplace? By referring to the table and to this graph, it is obvious that the main benefit of having robots in the workplace is to improve process, increase efficiency, and to save time. Both of these categories exceed the others' proposed benefit with a percentage higher of 70%. The participants think that robot can reduce staff costs and also reduce mistakes made by humans.
The goal of this paper was to determine what kind of impact, if any, robots will or would impose to humans in the workforce. Well, after going through the various resources, materials, and results of the survey that we sent out, the researchers were able to answer the questions. First, does a workplace that is instilling and applying robotics in a professional environment pose a threat to human workers and the jobs they do? No, it does not. Human laborers will always be needed, whether to maintain, to install, to fix these robots, to move them around from one building to another. If they're moving from one room to another, humans are always going to be needed. Maybe they might not be doing the same job as they were doing before because now the robots are doing them, but they'll always be needed to be doing something. The second question, what are the effects of having robotics in the workplace pose? They are here to help humans with the rigorous labors and tasks that are in demand in today's workforce. The effects of having robots in the workforce and the workplace look to be a positive one. With proper training and education, both humans and robots will make a positive impact in the company. Some effects that can happen from having robots in the workplace, they will save time, reduce staff costs, reduce human mistakes, and improve processes and efficiency. And these are just to name a few.